Hello everyone, welcome to RC Robotics. My name is Carl, and in today's video we're going to be building our very own Ingenuity coaxial helicopter. So if you've been keeping up to date with NASA, then you'll know that a few months ago Perseverance, the brand new Mars rover, landed beautifully on the surface of Mars, and underneath that rover there is a coaxial helicopter. The name of that coaxial helicopter is Ingenuity, and the plan is to deploy it from underneath the rover, let it set its four legs down on the surface, move over the helicopter, so the helicopter's got plenty of space, to move around and take off. Take off the helicopter after charging for a few days and fly around, take pictures of the surface of Mars, and probably also take pictures of Perseverance itself. So I thought the best way we could celebrate this is build our own model. Now it's definitely not going to be a one-to-one scale model, but we're going to see just how close a detail we can get with some common household materials. And we're also going to try and stick a HD camera in there, small HD camera, and we're also going to try and fit an FPV camera so we've got live feed. So let's get building. First off, I went and found myself a cheap coaxial helicopter. You can find these from most stores. I already had a few HD little cameras lying around, FPV cameras. Went and bought myself some of this A4 foam board. That was brilliant. The next job I had to do was try and shed as much weight from the helicopter as possible. So the canopy, that left. The undercarriage, they can be chopped off, and I'm just looking for anything that I can take away from the helicopter that's just dead weight basically, including this horizontal stabilizer and the vertical stabilizer, and even the boom supports, as they weren't doing anything. So then I snipped away the undercarriage, didn't really need them, they'll just get in the way, and I started to cut some templates. Originally the size of the box that I thought I would be needing was a lot smaller, so I ended up putting some templates down on the foam board, cutting it out, and then the next job was to make some bevels. So just scored them out with a knife, nice sharp knife, and just made sure to take my time in bending them. Then I made sure to put some bigger bevels in the very top and very side so I could get those perfect 90-degree angles in the box, and just, wiggled the helicopter until it sort of fitted. I had to make a few slits inside the box to get the boom and the rotor assembly inside the box neatly. And remember those undercarriage struts from before? Well, here they are being used for the undercarriage struts on top of the little Ingenuity helicopter. The four little struts in the corner, they work pretty well. And then I just started wrapping it carefully in this gold sort of tinfoil stuff, and just being careful not to add too much weight. And there's the finished product. And there we have our finished product. I'm very, very happy with the way this turned out. I wanted to do a little, few things a little bit differently, like put the actual its little carbon springy legs on, or the little carbon springy feet, should I say, on the end of these. At this point, if we add any more weight to this thing, I don't think it's going to end up flying. And I do want this thing to be actually functional. At the moment, it doesn't have the FPV camera in it. I'm going to do a few test flights to see, just how much power we still have, how much extra power we still have, so we can add extra weight onto it, and possibly even add the carbon fibre wrap onto the blades so they look like they're made carbon fibre. And then I think in the future I'm also going to end up making a little foam board solar panel that sits on top of this flybar for when it's just static sitting there, and yeah, so it looks like the real thing. But I'm really, really happy the way it turned out. It looks just like the real thing, sort of handheld version. We've even got a little charge port here, so we can still charge it inside the box. When I originally thought of building it, I thought the only way that we can charge this thing is if we were somehow being able to pull it in and out of the box constantly. That doesn't like that's possible, so there I've gone and made a little hole that can just pierce the charge port through and make its way to the charge board. And the switch on is underneath here, so I'm going to have to get like a pin or something to switch on through the bottom. And also our infrared sensor is there through the bottom also. My original idea was to stick tin foil around the inside of the thing and just pierce some holes, but the more holes we pierce in it, the less and less it looks like the real, helicopter. So yeah, I really didn't want to do that, so I made this a little bit shorter, and I just poked the sensor just out the bottom there, so it'll still be getting infrared, communications from the transmitter. Now, there's only one more thing left to do. Let's charge this thing up, switch it on, and go for a fly. Okay everyone, here is the moment of truth. Really nervous to fly this thing because as I've made it, I've pulled a lot of things that matter to do with the helicopter structure inside, like the undercarriage, and yeah, it's just really quite flimsy, these legs. I think we might get one landing out of them. I don't know. Yeah, but there's only one more thing left to do, fly it, which I'm really nervous about. So just before we fly it, and it's still in one piece, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Ingenuity if you don't know already. And basically 90% of Ingenuity's power at the moment is just to keep it warm, just to keep the batteries warm enough to be able to work on the surface of Mars, which is absolutely amazing. So this thing it's either right now, I don't know with the actual status of it, I've seen photos at the moment of filming this video where it's about halfway out, it's about 45 degrees out of the belly of the rover. These two legs haven't unfolded yet, and yeah, so I'm thinking in the next couple of days, whoever's controlling it, or I think it's controlling itself, most of this thing is autonomous, and then it sends the data back to Earth, and then people at NASA either tell it, yes, you're doing your job properly, or no, you're not doing your job properly, you need to change. But at the moment, yeah, it looks like Ingenuity is halfway out of Perseverance rover, and I cannot wait to see that thing drop, you know, onto its four legs and the rover to move away, which means that the helicopter can begin charging itself up with solar power. This actually charges itself off USB, not solar power. So yeah, it's 90% of its power is just to keep its batteries warm enough to, you know, work on the surface of Mars. But here we go, we're going to plug this in. I've charged it up, and we're going to see if I haven't changed the centre of gravity too much and I haven't added too much weight, that this thing can fly. And then hopefully, if it's got enough power, we've got enough weight that we can put a tiny micro FPV camera so we can get a live feed from it as well. So let's go. This is another problem as well. This is an infrared transmitter, and yeah, basically our sensor is under there, so I'm going to have to try and fly it from the floor, which is going to be interesting, but we'll give it a go until it's up, and then the sensor should be able to see the transmitter, you see. So there's our tiny little sensor underneath there, if you can see that. That's our tiny little infrared sensor that needs to find the light emittance from the transmitter. If you can't see that, it's not going to do anything, it's just going to sit there on the floor. And I've just thought of another problem. I need to find something that I can flip the switch with. 1 second. Screwdriver. Handy screwdriver. Okay. Switch is flipped. Oh, look at that, it's got lights! The lights are all coming from underneath. I don't think the Ingenuity helicopter on the surface of Mars has got navigation lights. It really doesn't need them because there's no one else up there. So this should be interesting to see if this works. Oh! See if it works from up here. That's mad! How is it working? It's the sensor is seeing it somehow. Okay. Here we go. It's trying to drift, so I need to get it up into the air as fast as possible. Alright. So we're drifting to the side quite a lot. So we need to start the back motor up first. Yes, look at that! That is fantastic! Oh my god, it flies so stable! My own RC Ingenuity helicopter. Now the flight time on Mars is literally going to be 30 seconds, so as long as we do a 30-second flight, we're doing good. Wow, fantastic. Okay, let's see if we can get away with a landing. Check it out, those landing legs, as long as you put it down gently enough. Yeah, amazing. I cannot believe how stable that thing was, and plenty of power, so no problem. We should be able to add an FPV camera. So let's go do that now. So guys, we have an FPV live feed camera in there. Just a little micro jobby, so it doesn't add too much weight. Camera, VTX, and here's our power supply, battery and charger. So yeah, doesn't seem to have added any more weight. Should be, I have plenty of power on the first flight, so hopefully we get a decent flight. So let's turn the camera on, turn the helicopter on, and let's see what the live video feed from the helicopter looks like. Lift that camera, no problem. Fantastic. There's another landing. Ooh, bumped it. So there we have it, guys. That was the RC model Ingenuity with FPV live camera. Yeah, thank you very much for joining us here at RC Robotics. If you do like this content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It's just up there in the corner. If you'd like to see any more of my content, I'll put 2 videos each in each corner, one down here and another one just down here. Please hit that subscribe button if you like the content. It really does help the channel, and like the video if you did like the video. Thank you very much, everyone, and I will see you again very, very soon. Bye-bye.